In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a fully lined tote bag. You can also win this tote bag, so make sure you watch the video until the end for all of the details. You can find the sewing pattern on my website, or you can make your own pattern like this. You will need to cut the following pieces: 2 outer, 2 lining, and 2 handles. Pin in the outer pieces right sides together and also the lining pieces. Now we need to sew down the side, the bottom, and back up the other side, keeping the top open. When you get to the cutout square for the boxed bottom, you're going to line the side of the bag with the bottom and continue sewing. This will make it easier to line things up. Sew both the outer and lining pieces. Open each of the corners and you will see that the stitching has kept the seams together. Pin the opening flat for all 4 corners of the lining and outer pieces. Now you need to place the bottom of the lining and outer pieces together, wrong sides together. Pin the boxed corners of the lining and outer pieces together. It should look like this when pinned. Sew both corners. You can see the lining and outer pieces are stitched together in the bottom of the bag. I love this technique because the lining is sewn into the bag and doesn't move around. Turn out the bag so that the lining is inside the bag. Now grab your 2 handle pieces. We need to fold over and iron about 1 centimetre along both sides of the handle. You can measure if you like. Then we want to fold it in half and iron again. Pin and sew down both sides of the handles. I like to get fairly close to the edge, around 2 to 3 millimeters, making sure both sides are being caught in the stitches. Place the lining and outer together at the seams and pin. Now we want to pin our handles in place. Make sure that the handles look like this when you place them. We need to measure out how far from the edge we want the handles to be. Find the seam and measure. I have pinned in place my handles 8 centimeters from the seam. Do the same for all handles so they match up. Now is a good time to check that the handles are sitting correctly when you hold the tote bag, before you sew. Sew the handles in about 1/2 centimeter from the edges. I like to backstitch over a few times to give it more strength in the handles, as this is where a lot of the pressure will be on the bag. So do that for all 4 handles and then trim any excess. Now we are going to hem the top of the tote bag. Fold over the raw edges about 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch. Iron and pin. Do this all the way around. Then you need to fold the hem over one more time and pin. You can iron this if you like, or just fold and repin. I kept the handles folded in as well at this stage. Once it's pinned all the way around, I go back to the handles and open the handles up and pin each side. Because now we're going to sew around, but we want those handles facing up. Sew 2 to 3 millimeters from the edge of the hem and hold to keep it in place as you go over the handles. Make sure you're holding them up straight to make it as neat as possible. And once you've been around the whole way, we will do another stitch around on the other side of the hem. This will help hold everything in place and give the handles some extra strength. Once you've finished sewing the hem, it should look like this with the 2 stitch lines. The stitching gives it a really nice finish and I'm really happy with how it's turned out. You can find the sewing pattern on my website, so make sure you check it out. You can also win this tote bag, and you'll find all of the details in the description below. The competition runs until the 30th of November 2025. You will need to subscribe, like this video, and comment below for your chance to win. Good luck, and I can't wait to see you in my next video.